Due to inflation and other factors, the standards of wealth are always changing. A person with a net worth of $1 million, for instance, would have been regarded as extremely wealthy decades ago. But, according to the results of a recent survey, $1 million is just sufficient to feel financially comfortable right now. We've represented a number of financial milestones in this report to help you understand what it truly takes to be affluent in America. Along with more general survey findings on what net worth criteria must be exceeded in order to be considered financially comfortable or even rich, it includes information on what it takes to rank in the top 1% for wealth in certain states. A net worth of $774,000 is required to feel financially comfortable, while a net worth of $2.2 million is required to be regarded as rich, according to Charles Schwab's Modern Wealth Study. Both of these achievements are much above the median, average, American's wealth of $122,000 in 2019, as reported by the Federal Reserve. Joining the 1% study by Knight Frank found that having a net worth of $4.4 million is required to be a member of America's 1%. In comparison to other affluent nations like Japan, $1.5 million, the UK, $1.8 million, and Australia, $2.8 million, this is a fairly high amount. The discrepancy is partially attributable to the size of the ultra-high net worth population in America, which includes the nation's 724 billionaires. The top 5 nations with the most billionaires are shown in this table. Returning to the United States, we can also observe significant differences at the state level. A $6.8 million net worth is needed to join California's 1% club, which is 62% greater than the national average. Several of the richest people in the world, like Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg and Google co-founder Larry Page, call California home. On the other hand, Mississippi requires $766,000 to be a 1%er. That is 83% less than the national average and only slightly more than what the typical American considers to be financially comfortable. This is partly a result of Mississippi having the highest poverty rate in the nation, at 19.6%, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. A deeply red state, Mississippi has voted Republican in the past 10 election cycles. The last Democratic candidate to win the state was Jimmy Carter, in 1976. The Democrat Party touts themselves as supporters of the working class. If this is true, then why do the majority of the wealthy support the Democrats? There is little question that the Democratic Party of today is the party of the wealthy. That's actually an understatement. The participants go far beyond billionaires. A more accurate description of the situation would be to say that the managerial class, also referred to as the elite, forms the core of the Democratic coalition. These are the individuals in charge of the news media, Hollywood, and the entertainment sector, major enterprises, colleges and universities, investment banks, and Wall Street. They are found in the top echelons of administrative structures. The East and West Coasters are those people. The overwhelmingly disproportionate share of sizable political donations from the wealthy flowing to Democrats and a plethora of left-wing causes demonstrates the affluence affinity with the Democratic Party. Also, it explains why Democrats control 41 of the 50 wealthiest congressional districts. The exception is Bernie Sanders. But since he is a rarity and is considered as a threat to the party, the Democratic establishment is crushing him. Why do the affluent support the Democrats? Although the solution may seem counterintuitive, it is actually pretty straightforward. It most certainly isn't ideals or lofty principles. It's also not ignorance. It essentially comes down to pure self-interest. According to Christopher Caldwell's book The Age of Entitlement, America After the 60s, wealthy Americans believe they are just as vulnerable as black people. They make up a minuscule portion of the population. They worry about having much of their riches and power stripped from them and of being disliked for it. So, by employing the divide-and-conquer strategy, the wealthy attempt to defend what is rightfully theirs by preventing the formation of large majorities. Hence, the wealthiest and most influential people in America have significant incentives to favor an anti-majoritarian political system. As a class, the wealthy are happy to see the United States fall apart. And it's all done to maintain and grow their wealth, power, and influence. That's why they despise Donald Trump so much. The managerial elite abhors Trump's mega plan. No matter who wins, God, family, and country are what matter most, Trump stated at the Daytona 500. Not on the Democrat agenda, though. The goal is to further erode the ties that bind Americans together on a social and national level, as seen by Democratic politicians, their policies, and the actions of their major backers. There are a lot of things at stake. The Republic can endure and thrive if solidarity prevails. The middle class will wither, the Republic will perish, and the affluent and their management class will take control of everything if the Democrats and their wealthy allies succeed. What it all boils down to is that